Hello friends, Drew here in beautiful Lincoln University, Pennsylvania. Customer has a double bowl sink that they are not thrilled with anymore, and a faucet that's being kind of dumb here, the way it's starting to fall apart and just be silly. So what we're going to do today is we're going to remove that undermount sink from the countertop area, and the customer has purchased a new undermount sink that's going to go in its place. So we're going to try to get this out. Get the new one in, get it supported, get it glued up, do everything that needs to get done to get the new one in, plumb it, and then the adhesive is going to sit there and dry for 24 to 48 hours. So we're in the process of getting the water shut off to the house. While we're doing that, we're working downstairs on replacing the whole house filter. Let me take you downstairs and show you what that looks like. Here we go. So down here in the basement, we've got the original whole house filter that was here, and they only really gave the homeowner kind of a really rinky-dink wrench to try to take that off and change it. He was finding it very difficult to get that off with the pressure that was in there, and even when you relieve the pressure, he was still having problems. So we are going to upgrade them to a 6 or an 8-inch filter, and then put the 1-inch lines in it and get that mounted on the wall. And that comes with a full-size wrench. So having the full ring all the way around is going to make it a lot easier for them to get good grip, and having the bigger diameter size, get more arm strength behind it to be able to open that up to get it off, change the filter. So we've got the water shut off down here. We're going to be doing the sink and the whole house filter at the same time. Michael's getting ready to get started on that. So Michael's got the new filter mounted on the wall and is starting to work on figuring out exactly where we're going to cut the pipes so we can segment. This is a little bit larger filter, so we need 1-inch pipes. So you'll see that we're stepping up from the 3/4 that was here presently up to the 1-inch and laying that out, making sure that we have the right length for all those different pieces on the output side. And then he's going to start working on the input side and get that in with the mounting bracket on here and that big giant ring. This is going to make it a lot easier for our customer to get in there and take this apart to change those filters without straining themselves like he was using that little tiny wrench before. So getting things done, making things happen. And as he's finishing up with this, hopefully we'll have the sink installed and we're getting ready to turn the water back on here in a couple hours once the plumber's glue has a chance to set up properly. So this is the process of removing the undermount sink. German has already cleared all of the plumbing from underneath. We have a bucket set up with some supports to kind of help just catch the sink so it can't fall too far. We've got the heat going in here, warming things up, focusing on the sink, keeping the metal sink nice and warm to help break down the bond in the silicone, and then working our way along with some of the tools to protect the solid surface here, but allow us to put some pressure down in the sink, being careful that we're not putting any pressure on the under edge that could cause that to damage or crack. And so it's a bit of a slow process. You got to take your time and really work your way through it to cut through that silicone. There are some various dissolving agents you can try. So far we haven't had a lot of success with those. Just good old-fashioned heat and patience has been the best way. So he's warming up both sides of this, keeping everything nice and hot, and that's allowing the bonds to break down in the silicone so we can get the old sink out, and then we focus on trying to get the new sink in. So we have the sink out. We've removed the faucet. German right now is working on scraping the rest of the silicone out from under the rim around the opening so that we can have something clean surface to attach the new sink to. We were able to get the new sink down in the hole, so it's ready to rock and roll. And Michael tells me that down in the basement he has the glue finished on the plumbing pipes. So we're gonna take a quick walk down here, check on that, see where things are at. Looking beautiful. I love it. This is great. All right, so this is all in, glued up, made our transition here from your 3/4 to your 1-inch, 1-inch across and in, all the way through, up and over. He's got the pressure relief valve, so when you go to change the filter, you shut your water off, you push that red button, that takes the pressure off, which allows you to put the wrench on, get 2 hands on this thing, and with it being anchored into the wall, good and strong, it should be a lot easier for them to be able to take and remove this when it comes time to do that. So that piece is all set. Now we just have to wait the 2 hours for the glue to dry, and that's going to be set and ready to rock and roll. The third project we are working on here today, customer has a railing on one side. They would like to have a railing on the other side as well to get them all the way down to the landing here. So Norm's going to be working on this process and getting that cut to the right size, the right dimensions, figuring out where the brackets are going to go on the wall. And then once we have that all mounted where it needs to be, we'll take it back off the wall. We're going to stain it. This is a golden oak. We're going to get 2 coats of that on there. Look pretty. I'll take you outside and show you that part. So 16 feet of railing here, ready to rock and roll. Beautiful piece of oak. It's absolutely gorgeous. And Norm's getting set up now with the saw out here in the driveway and getting the tools out and sawhorses and everything that we need in order to be able to cut that mite of the corners, get it returned into the wall properly, and then, like I said, mounted where it needs to be. Then we'll take that off, stain the entire rail, and then get it reinstalled once all that cures and dry. So because of how the sink's going to fit in here, where the front of the cabinet is, where the sink faucet's going to go, and the thickness of the rim, the sink the customer has provided is going to put us right to the very back edge of this, which when we go to put the faucet on, this is going to go through the hole, and then we got this mounting ring that has to sit here. Well, that's going to sit right underneath the edge of the flange. We're not going to be able to have the sink because, so I either have to cut the sink, which makes me a little bit nervous, or the other choice is that we just take a wood shim, and it's the same thickness as the rim of the sink, and I put that in the back side of the hole, so that way when we crank this washer up, it's got equal pressure front and back on the bottom, on the thickness of the bottom of the sink, to be able to tie this together. So I think that's how we're going to solve that part of this challenge. And Norm is working on his stair layout. He's gone through, figured out where all the stud locations are, and how to evenly space our brackets so that we have a consistent look up and down the step that's going to hold it securely and also sort of mirror, reflect, match what's going on the other side. So now that the hard part's done, it's just a matter of getting the brackets mounted up in the wall and figured it marked level wherever you need so they're a nice straight line all the way down. Get those attached into a support stud so there's something solid for you to hold on to, and then we can use that as our basis for figuring out railing length based on where the nose of the stair tread is at the bottom and the top, and where we have studs to mount this to. Cut the returns to put it in so you can't catch your sleeve or your robe or anything else on the railing as you're going up or going down. It's going to trip you up, and then we can take it and stain it. So coming along nicely, making good progress. Making good progress. German's underneath connecting portions of the sink and getting that set. We have our props underneath that are supporting the sink and holding those in place. We've got shims that we've wedged in there, and now actually tightening the faucet is grabbing hold of the lip of the sink to keep it from moving. We've been kind of constantly taking measurements here and saying, okay, there's a 1/2 inch there, there's a 1/2 inch there, there's 3/16 on this side, there's 3/16 on that side, making sure that this is going in centered and square in the opening. And then there's a couple different ways to really secure it to keep it from sliding with the adhesion in there. But the way this faucet lined up, we're actually able to clamp onto that back lip of the sink with the faucet, and I think that's going to really help hold things in place. Meanwhile, in the next room, Mike and Norm are working on getting the returns put onto the stair railing, and Norm's working on finishing getting those brackets in, and the plumbing downstairs is complete. So focus right now is on getting the sink finished and getting that together, and then it has to have at least 24, we recommend 48 hours to cure with no water on it before we take those props out, so that the silicone adhesive has plenty of time to set up and really grab. Sink is in, plumbed, and ready to rock and roll. We got the drain plumbing over here on the right. It was a double bowl before. We are now a single bowl setup, and we have the dishwasher line coming in down here. These props are going to stay in place to support that sink for 48 hours. We have already screwed in the other support pieces that are there because this countertop was not pre-drilled with the anchors that would go into the underside of the granite. So, and then up on top, and we've been double checking all of these measurements as we've been going to make sure that everything stayed where it needed to. Sink is in and tight, and so now we've just got to kind of clean up and get everything put away. And the guys have finished with the railing. We'll walk over there. All of our brackets in, ready to go. And so now we just have to stain that railing, and 2 coats of stain and then a coat of poly on it. And so we're going to work on getting some sawhorses set up so that we can do that work inside where it's warm. So that is the next step on this project. All right, this is complete. Water's back on, no leaks, everything's happy. That's what I like to say. You got this filled, tested, everything's happy, and it's a whole lot easier to get it on and off with it mounted securely to the wall and that nice big ring. So this project is done. The guys are upstairs vacuuming. Let's go upstairs and see how that stuff came out. So we've got our first coat of poly on stain on the railing, and it doesn't even look like we're gonna need a second coat. This is coming out beautiful. The color's gonna match the other side really nicely. We're happy with that. We brought a chunk in and we had put 3 different color samples on it to see what we thought was close. And on half the sample, we did 1 coat. On the other half, we did 2 coats. So you got actually 6 samples to compare. And this is what came out. We think it's going to work. And we actually painted on the railing for real, stained on the railing for real. It's coming out beautifully dark, absorbing just the way we want it to. So this may be actually 100%. We're just going to come back and put the semi-gloss on it tomorrow to match existing. And that's kind of ready to rock and roll. The guys are finishing vacuuming up over here. And so we've got brand new sink, finished, complete, in, done, ready to turn the water on, but we need to wait at least 48 hours, let those props stay in there, keep the pressure on the silicone, let the adhesives set up around the sink to hold that, and then they can turn the water back on and start using the sink. But so that's ready to rock and roll for them, and we'll come back tomorrow morning and keep hitting on the railing so they can get that finished where it needs to be. And then once the poly coat, once the clear sets up, then it's just a simple matter of hanging it here on the support hooks and setting it up, and then I'll have 2 sets of railings to make going up and down the stairs safer and easier and much more comfortable. So this is going to wrap it up for this project, short of us coming back tomorrow and doing some of the other pieces. So we're packing up, cleaning up, getting out of here for the day. If we can help you solve a problem, there's nothing that we don't do. Roofing, siding, windows, doors, decking, all those interior renovation projects, your bathrooms, your kitchens, your master suites, your finished basement projects. We can help you with all of those and a host of other things, building an addition, a custom dream home, a new garage, and whatever it is that you need done. Give our team a call. We do have a dedicated office staff available weekdays 9:30 in the morning until 2 in the afternoon at 484-748-0008. Choose option 2 for Cope Construction and Renovation, and extension 2 for new projects. Remember, Cope Build is your full service construction and renovation company and your Pennsylvania home improvement contractor, number 88078. If you're watching on YouTube, click that subscribe bell. We shoot videos like this all the time to help you better understand how the components of your home go together. So when you're ready to work on that project at your house, if you subscribe, you'll have easy access to what we have going on to serve you. And of course, if you're on Facebook, give us a like there as well. Keep up with all the fun projects going on. Remember, when we're finished with it, you're gonna be proud to say it's not just done. It was Cope Built. We'll catch you guys on another video. Bye for now.